If you think walking is too slow to burn fat, then why are firefighters, soldiers, and elite trainers using it to burn more fat than jogging, without running a single step? Let me tell you about a woman named Lisa. She's 59, retired, walks every morning. She eats clean, counts her calories, does everything by the book. But her belly fat? It won't budge. Worse, her energy's been crashing every afternoon. And she started wondering if something's wrong with her metabolism. She thought maybe it was age, or hormones, or just bad luck. But after making one tiny shift in how she walks, her blood sugar stabilized, her cravings disappeared, and within 3 weeks, she dropped 2 inches off her waist. No gym, no new diet, no extra time. Here's the truth no one's talking about. Walking doesn't have to be faster. It has to be smarter. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how. This video is for anyone over 40 who's sick of walking and waiting, and ready to finally turn a simple, daily walk into a powerful fat-burning ritual, without extra effort, pain, or pressure. Why walking isn't too slow. You're just doing it wrong. For years, people have been told that if they want to lose weight, they need to go harder. That walking is too slow, too easy, too gentle. That real fat burning only happens when you sweat buckets, run miles, or crush it at the gym. But here's the truth, especially if you're over 40. Your body doesn't need more punishment. It needs better strategy. Walking, done right, is not only enough. It can be one of the most effective and sustainable fat-burning tools you'll ever use. The problem isn't that walking is too slow. The problem is that most people are walking in a way that keeps their body in storage mode, not burning mode. Let me give you an example. Mark is 62. He walks his dog every morning for 30 minutes, rain or shine. He's been doing this for years. But lately, he noticed something frustrating. His pants are getting tighter. His weight is creeping up. And his doctor told him his blood sugar is borderline. Mark's reaction was, "How? I walk every day." But when I asked him a few simple questions, do you walk before or after meals? Do you ever vary your pace? Are you tracking your steps or your heart rate? He realized something. He'd been walking on autopilot. Same route, same speed, same routine, and unfortunately, same results. You see, the body adapts fast, especially after 40. What used to work in your 30s may no longer move the needle. As metabolism slows, muscle mass decreases, and insulin sensitivity drops, the kind of movement that used to maintain your weight may now barely maintain your blood sugar. That's why walking with strategy, knowing when to walk, how to walk, and even where to walk, matters more than ever. Because when you apply just a few small tweaks, you can shift your body back into fat-burning mode without adding time, intensity, or pressure. Here's the insight I want you to take away. It's not about walking longer. It's about walking smarter. And the good news is, walking smart doesn't mean turning your daily stroll into a military workout. It means knowing which windows of the day help your body burn more fat, which walking patterns tap into your metabolism, and which simple upgrades make the biggest difference. You don't need a gym. You don't need perfect knees. You just need the right timing, the right rhythm, and a little intention. So no, walking isn't too slow. You've just been told the wrong story. And today, we're going to rewrite that story, one smart step at a time. In fact, let's begin with one of the most underrated fat-burning strategies out there. It only takes 2 minutes, but done at the right time, it can dramatically improve your blood sugar, digestion, and fat storage. Let's talk about it next. The 2-minute post-meal walk. Smallest effort, biggest metabolic win. Imagine this. You've just finished dinner. It wasn't a huge meal, maybe some chicken, rice, and vegetables. You feel fine, not overly full. So what do most people do next? They sit on the couch, in the car, at their desk. And here's the problem. The moment you sit down after a meal, especially after 40, your blood sugar starts to rise. If that spike is too high, your body releases more insulin. And when insulin is high, your body switches into fat storage mode, not fat burning. That's where a simple, overlooked habit becomes a powerful game changer. Walking just 2 to 5 minutes after eating can reduce blood sugar spikes by up to 30%. That's not a theory, that's what clinical studies are now showing. And the best part? It's not a workout. You don't need sneakers, special gear, or even a sweat towel. You just need to stand up and move. Let me tell you about Sarah. She's 57, works in healthcare, and came to me frustrated. She wasn't eating junk, she wasn't overeating, but every time she checked her glucose levels after meals, they were high. She felt sleepy, heavy, and found herself craving sugar just an hour later. We didn't overhaul her diet, we didn't add supplements. All we did was introduce a 5-minute walk after each meal, even if it was just pacing around her house. Within 2 weeks, her glucose spikes dropped, her energy stayed stable, and she stopped reaching for snacks in the late afternoon. Her words? "I never knew something so small could make such a difference." And that's the point. After 40, our bodies become more sensitive to timing. Your metabolism, hormones, even digestion, they all respond better when movement happens with your meal, not just around your workout schedule. Think of it like this. If your blood sugar is like traffic, then walking after meals is like turning on green lights all the way home. It clears the path, keeps things flowing, and prevents the pileups that lead to fat gain, fatigue, and cravings. Now, there are a few common mistakes people make here. One is thinking they have to power walk or turn it into a mini cardio session. You don't. A gentle stroll is enough. Another mistake? Waiting too long. The magic window is within 30 minutes of finishing your meal, but the sooner the better. Even if it's just standing up and walking around your kitchen or down the hallway at work, it counts. And finally, people often forget that every meal counts, not just dinner. If you can take even a short walk after breakfast or lunch, you're multiplying the benefits. So here's your takeaway. You don't need more willpower, you need better timing. 2 minutes of light walking after you eat can be the most effortless habit you build this year. It improves blood sugar, supports digestion, lowers fat storage, and boosts your energy, without adding anything else to your plate. And once your body starts responding to that shift, we can start layering in even more powerful tools. Next up, what happens when you walk before your first bite of the day, and why that timing flips your metabolism into fat-burning mode even faster. Morning fasted walk. Your body's built-in fat-burning window. There's a short window of time every morning, right after you wake up, before your first bite, where your body is naturally set up to burn fat. No gimmicks, no supplements, just biology. It's called the fasted state, and it's one of the most underused advantages we have, especially after 40. When you wake up, your insulin levels are low, your blood sugar is stable, and your body hasn't yet received the signal to start storing energy. That makes it the perfect time to move. Not hard, not long, just enough to tell your body, let's burn what's already here. That's why a simple morning walk, even just 10 to 20 minutes at a relaxed, comfortable pace, can amplify fat burning by up to 20% compared to walking later in the day. It taps into your stored fat, not the sugar from your last meal, and it does so without stressing the body. Even better, walking in this fasted state helps release growth hormone, a powerful tool for preserving muscle, which is absolutely vital for weight loss after 40. Take Greg, for example. He's 60, used to hit the gym in his younger years, but now just wants to stay lean and healthy without beating up his joints. He started walking in the mornings before breakfast. Nothing intense, just a 15-minute loop around his neighborhood. No headphones, no distractions, just him and the sunrise. After 6 weeks, his belly fat had noticeably decreased. His blood pressure improved, and he said he felt lighter in every way. More energy, less stiffness, and most surprisingly, his cravings for sugar in the afternoon nearly vanished. So what's happening here? Your body is still in repair mode from the night. Your cortisol levels, which are naturally higher in the morning, actually help mobilize fat for fuel when you walk. And if you walk outside, That early daylight helps reset your circadian rhythm, improving your sleep, balancing hunger hormones like ghrelin and leptin, and making your entire metabolic system more efficient. It's not just a walk, it's a metabolic reset. The key is to do it gently. This isn't about speed or sweating, it's about consistency, calm movement, and being present with your body as it wakes up. Now, one common mistake I see. People sip on sugary coffee, juices, or even smoothies before their walk, which raises insulin and shuts down the fat-burning window. If you need something beforehand, stick to water, black coffee, or unsweetened tea. That way, your body stays in the fasted state and can use fat as fuel. And if mornings are hectic, remember, even a 5-minute stroll outside before breakfast is better than nothing. The goal isn't perfection, it's activation. So the next time you wake up, instead of reaching for food or checking your phone, try reaching for your shoes. Give your body a chance to do what it's naturally built to do. Burn fat, heal, reset. And once this habit becomes part of your morning rhythm, you'll start the day already ahead. Now, what if we could take that same short walk and supercharge it without adding more time or effort? That's what we're going to cover next. Smart intervals. How 3x3 walking beats 30 minutes of jogging. Now, once your body is back in fat-burning mode, there's one technique that can take your results to the next level without needing to walk longer or harder. It's called interval walking. And in many cases, it can actually help you burn more fat than a steady 30-minute jog. Sounds surprising? That's because most people think fat loss comes from duration or intensity. But in reality, it's about how your heart rate moves, up and down. When you alternate between short bursts of faster walking and slower recovery periods, you train your body to adapt, to burn more efficiently, and to recover faster. This method, called the 3x3, is simple. Walk fast for 3 minutes, then slow down and recover for 3 minutes. Repeat this 5 times, and you've got a 30-minute session that's scientifically proven to improve blood sugar, boost insulin sensitivity, raise your VO2 max, that's your body's oxygen efficiency, and most importantly, burn more body fat. Let me tell you about Bill. He's 67, a retired firefighter with 2 knee surgeries. Running is out of the question for him, but he wanted to stay active and lose the 15 pounds he'd gained during retirement. We started with the 3x3 method. He walked around his block, 1 lap brisk, 1 lap slow, using a simple stopwatch on his phone. Within 8 weeks, he'd lost 11 pounds, shaved 2 inches off his waist, and said he felt stronger than I've felt in years, without pain. The magic wasn't in walking faster all the time. It was in the change, the pulse of effort and ease. Effort and ease. That rhythm wakes up your metabolism in a way that steady walking alone just can't. Why does this matter after 40? Because as we age, our bodies get more efficient, but not always in a good way. They learn how to conserve energy, which makes fat loss harder. But when you throw in variation, short surges followed by recovery, you force your system to adapt. Your heart gets stronger, your muscles activate differently, and you unlock something called the afterburn effect, where your body keeps burning calories for hours, even after you've stopped walking. Now, here's where some people go wrong. They try to walk too fast, too soon. Then they get winded, frustrated, or worse, they give up. Don't rush it. If 3 minutes feels like too much, start with 1 minute fast, 2 minutes slow. Build up gradually. Use landmarks in your neighborhood, a mailbox, a tree, a street light, to time your intervals. You don't need a treadmill or fancy gear, you just need rhythm. And over time, your body will respond, not with exhaustion, but with energy. So remember this, it's not about speed, it's about strategy. And the 3x3, the terrain beneath your feet. And the results? They might surprise you. Incline walking, the fat-burning shortcut that's easier on your knees. If there's one walking upgrade that delivers faster fat loss without adding time and actually protects your joints in the process, it's this: walking uphill. Whether it's a gentle incline on a treadmill or a sloped sidewalk in your neighborhood, walking on an incline engages more muscles with every single step. Your glutes, your hamstrings, your calves, they all have to work harder to push you forward and upward. And that extra effort means more calories burned, more fat mobilized, and more strength built, all without having to go faster or farther. In fact, just a 5% incline can boost calorie burn by over 50%. At 10%, it more than doubles. But here's what most people don't realize. Even though incline walking feels harder, it's often easier on your knees. That's because the slope shifts pressure from your joints to your larger, stronger muscle groups, especially your hips and core. Take Linda, for example. She's 64 and lives in a hilly neighborhood in Oregon. For years, she avoided inclines, thinking they'd aggravate her arthritis. But after some guidance, she started incorporating short hill walks, just one block at a time, into her daily routine. She kept her pace slow and steady, focused on upright posture, and let her muscles, not her joints, do the work. Within a month, she felt stronger going upstairs, more stable in her balance, and said she had less stiffness in her knees than when she was walking only on flat ground. The hills had actually helped her body re-engage the muscles that support her joints, and the bonus? She started burning more belly fat without adding extra time to her walks. So how do you get started safely? If you're on a treadmill, start with a 3% incline and build up to 5 to 7% over time. Keep your posture tall, core gently engaged, and avoid leaning forward. Let the hill do the work, not your lower back. If you're walking outdoors, look for mild hills or ramps in your neighborhood, parks or walking paths. Even parking garages, bridges, or curved driveways can provide just enough elevation to make a difference. The goal isn't to power through it, it's to activate more muscle with less impact. That's what makes incline walking such a powerful tool for people over 40. It gives you the metabolic boost of a harder workout with the joint safety of a walk in the park. The real insight here? Fat loss isn't always about pushing harder. Sometimes it's about adjusting the angle. And when you combine strategic movement with smart terrain, your body responds quickly. It's efficient, it's accessible, and it works with the body you have now, not the one you had in your 20s. And now that you know how to make your legs and lungs work a little smarter, it's time to introduce the most important internal tool of all, your heart rate. In the next section, we'll unlock the fat burning zone that's hiding in plain sight. Zone 2 walking. The secret heart rate range that turns fat into fuel. Here's something your doctor probably never told you. Your body has a fat-burning gear, a sweet spot where it prefers to use fat, not sugar, for energy. And you don't need to run, lift weights, or push your limits to reach it. You just need to walk at the right pace. This is called Zone 2, a specific heart rate range where your body is working just hard enough to challenge your system, but not so hard that it has to dip into your fast-burning sugar reserves. And for people over 40, Zone 2 is one of the most effective, sustainable ways to improve metabolism, reduce belly fat, and rebuild energy without breaking yourself down. So how do you find it? Forget complicated formulas. Just try the talk test. If you can hold a conversation comfortably, speaking in full sentences, but would be out of breath if you tried to sing a full song lyric, you're likely in Zone 2. You'll feel your breathing pick up, your heart working a little harder, but not so much that it's uncomfortable. It's a calm, focused pace, and it's powerful. Because when you stay in Zone 2 for 20 to 40 minutes consistently, you build up your mitochondria, the energy factories inside your cells. You also increase enzymes that help burn fat more efficiently. And over time, your body becomes better at using fat for fuel, not just during your walk, but even while you rest. Let me introduce you to John. He's 68, recently retired, and wasn't interested in gyms or high-impact workouts. He just wanted to feel better, lose a few inches around his waist, and keep up with his grandkids. We set a simple goal: 30 minutes of Zone 2 walking, 5 days a week. He wore a basic smartwatch to track his heart rate, kept his pace consistent, and walked mostly in the morning after a glass of water. After 3 months, John had lost 12 pounds, improved his blood pressure, and told me he finally felt in control of his body again. His words, not mine. Now here's where some people get tripped up. They try to go too hard. They think more effort, more burn. But once your heart rate climbs too high, your body switches over to using sugar instead of fat, and the whole point of Zone 2 is lost. So remember, this isn't a power walk. It's a smart walk. Gentle, rhythmic, focused. And if you don't have a smartwatch, don't worry. Just use the talk test. And if you're recovering from fatigue, injury, or haven't exercised in years, Zone 2 is also the safest, most restorative place to begin. What I love most about Zone 2 walking is that it builds your foundation. It improves recovery, cardiovascular health, and long-term endurance, all without stress or strain. And once your body is trained to burn fat more efficiently, everything else you do, whether it's walking hills, tracking steps, or even doing nothing, starts to become more effective. Now that you found your fat-burning rhythm, what if we could amplify it even further without changing how you walk, but simply where you walk? Let's talk about the healing power of nature.
Nature walking. Reduce belly fat by lowering cortisol. If you've ever taken a walk through a quiet park or under a line of old trees, you've probably felt it. That subtle sense of calm, that deep breath your body takes without even realizing it. But what you may not know is that those peaceful moments are doing more than just relaxing your mind. They're actively helping your body burn belly fat. The reason is cortisol, your primary stress hormone. When cortisol levels stay elevated, from work stress, poor sleep, blood sugar swings, or even emotional tension, your body gets a very specific message. Hold on to fat, especially around the midsection. This isn't just theory. Multiple studies have shown that stress-induced cortisol is directly linked to increased abdominal fat, especially in people over 40. But the antidote? It might be as simple as stepping outside. Just 15 minutes in a green space, whether it's a local trail, a city park, or even a quiet tree-lined street, has been shown to reduce cortisol levels by up to 14% and lower resting heart rate by 3 beats per minute. That's without changing your walking pace, your duration, or your route length. You're still getting your steps, but now your hormones are working with you, not against you. Take Sandra. She's 62, lives in Chicago, and used to walk every morning on a treadmill while watching the news. It was efficient, but it wasn't peaceful. After her blood pressure crept up and her sleep became restless, I suggested something simple. Once or twice a week, swap the treadmill for a local botanical garden she loved but hadn't visited in years. Within weeks, Sandra noticed something she hadn't expected. Not only was she sleeping better and feeling more emotionally grounded, but she'd lost 2 stubborn pounds that hadn't budged in months. No diet changes, no new routine, just a shift in environment. Why does this work? Because your nervous system isn't separate from your metabolism. When you lower stress, your cravings ease, your digestion improves, your recovery speeds up, and yes, your body finally feels safe enough to release stored fat. Nature walking also improves serotonin and dopamine levels, boosts mood, sharpens focus, and creates a sense of mental spaciousness, which is incredibly important in a world full of noise and pressure. If you live in the city, don't worry. You don't need a forest or a mountain. A nearby park, a quiet block with trees, or even a cemetery path can provide enough natural stimulus. Walk slowly. Leave your headphones behind once in a while. Let your senses tune in to the sound of wind, birds, leaves, sky. It's not just a walk, it's medicine. And once your mind and hormones are aligned with your fat loss goals, it becomes easier to stick with the routine. You don't have to force motivation. It comes naturally. Now that your body is calmer and more receptive, let's look at how one tiny habit, just tracking your steps, can take that consistency to a whole new level. Weighted walking, or rucking. Burn more fat, build more strength, protect your bones. Sometimes, the most powerful changes don't come from doing more, they come from doing the same thing, just slightly differently.
And that's exactly what weighted walking, or rucking, offers. It's the same walk you already know, same pace, same route, but now you're carrying a little bit of extra weight, typically 5 to 10% of your body weight, in a backpack or front-loaded vest. And this small shift can lead to big results. Rucking can increase calorie burn by over 50%, engage more muscle groups, strengthen your core, improve posture, and even build bone density, which becomes increasingly important after 50, when bone loss tends to accelerate. Best of all, you don't have to go faster. You just have to show up a little heavier. Let's meet Frank. He's 65, retired from the Postal Service, and had always been active. But after a mild back injury and a few years of sedentary recovery, he noticed the pounds creeping back, along with back stiffness and slouched posture. He wanted something effective but low impact. We started with rucking. He took his usual walk, a flat half-mile loop, and added a backpack with 2 1-liter water bottles. That's it. No extra effort. But the difference? Remarkable. Within 6 weeks, Frank lost nearly 7 pounds, reported better balance and posture, and told me his lower back actually felt stronger, not more strained. "It's like I tricked my body into working harder, without working harder," he said. Here's why it works. When you add weight to your walk, your body has to stabilize and support that load with every step. That means your legs, glutes, core, and spine are all activated more deeply. Your heart rate rises into a higher fat-burning zone, even if you're walking at a casual pace. And because the weight is external, not impact-driven like running, your joints aren't being pounded. In fact, if you carry the weight properly, close to your center of gravity with good posture, it can actually relieve strain on your joints by encouraging better alignment. Now, let's talk safety. Rucking is not about loading yourself up like a Marine. It's about progressive resistance. Start light. A backpack with a few canned goods, a small hand weight, or even a few books. Keep the weight evenly distributed. Walk on flat surfaces at first, and most importantly, keep your posture upright. Your shoulders should stay back, your core gently engaged, and your head tall. If your shoulders round or your lower back starts to ache, reduce the weight immediately. Some people even prefer front-loading the weight, like with a weighted vest, to support their spine and avoid hunching. The beauty of rucking is that it meets you where you are. It's adaptable, effective, and scalable. Whether you're just starting out or already walking daily, this one tweak can strength and support long-term health. All without a gym. Now, if you're someone who loves simple habits that deliver real change, there's one final tool I want to show you. It's not about how you walk. It's about how you track it. Let's talk about the power of step counting and why it works, even when nothing else does. Choose one hack to start today. Walk smarter, not harder. By now, you've seen the truth. Walking doesn't need to be faster, harder, or longer to help you lose fat. It just needs to be smarter. Every one of these strategies we've talked about today works with your biology, not against it. Whether it's walking for 2 minutes after a meal to flatten your blood sugar curve, getting outside for a peaceful stroll that lowers cortisol and cuts belly fat, or adding a little weight to your walk to build strength and fire up your metabolism. These aren't gimmicks. They're small, science-backed changes that fit naturally into your life, no matter your age, weight, or fitness level. If you're over 40 and you've ever felt stuck, tired, or frustrated, like your body isn't responding the way it used to, I want you to hear this. It's not your fault. Your body has changed, yes, but you're not broken. You just need a new approach that matches the season you're in. A way of moving that supports your joints, respects your energy, and actually helps you feel better, not worse, after doing it. Walking, when done right, is that approach. So here's what I'd love for you to do. Don't try to apply all 8 hacks at once. That's too much, too fast. Instead, pick one. Just one. Start small. Maybe tomorrow morning you step outside and walk 10 minutes before breakfast. Maybe after dinner, instead of going straight to the couch, you do a slow lap around the block. Maybe this weekend, you put a few water bottles in a backpack and see how your body feels on a rucked walk. Let the habit be light. Let it grow. Because when it comes to lasting fat loss after 40, change doesn't come from punishment. It comes from permission. Permission to move in ways that feel good, to build habits that last, to trust your body again. And as you walk, not just toward weight loss, but toward health, energy, and confidence, you'll find that the journey becomes less about the scale and more about strength, momentum, pride. Now, if any part of this video made you think, that sounds like me, or that feels doable, then I invite you to try it. Start walking smarter, not harder. And if you're wondering whether deeper metabolic issues like insulin resistance might be holding you back, stay with me. In the next video, I'll show you how to spot the signs and what to do to reverse it naturally, step by step. Thanks for being here. Your health is the foundation for everything you do. Protect it. If you found value in today's video, tap like, share it with someone who needs encouragement, and subscribe for more. We're here to guide you through the science, the facts, and the tools to win your fight against obesity. Thanks for watching. Remember, your health is your greatest asset. If you found this video helpful, give it a like, share it with someone who might need it, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We'll keep bringing you clear, science-backed information on obesity, weight control, and living your healthiest life, so you can take charge of your future, starting today.